This is why it's going to go up quick, because the nature of our commerce and the nature of our group action in the world. This is the famous long tail graph. It's also called the Matthew effect. Basically, it comes down to this. The rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. And there's a wonderful example why. This is the fundraising effort of the Relay for Life for the last 5 years. In the first year, the money was very impressive for a Second Life organization, $5,000 US. Second year, $41,000. Fourth year, $210,000. Currently, it's at $274,000. That's the figure as of 3 nights ago. This represents an annual growth of 120% in fundraising. Just for comparison, the Real Life, Relay for Life, in the last 22 years of fundraising, has a 58% annual return rate. This is roughly double. Ray Kurzweil's doubling effect, this is it. And what does it mean for the rest of us? And what does it mean for the cost of doing business in Second Life? I went on Craigslist to find out how much a development assistant would cost if I was going to hire one and run a fundraising campaign anywhere for the next 12 months. Roughly $48,000 for a competent, technically savvy development assistant. How many nonprofits here spend that much on fundraising, on salary alone for a year? Just by this cost alone, 80 to 90% of nonprofit in the world right now, if not close to 100, will not be able to have a full-time presence.
Well, they could run full-time development campaigns, but
yeah.
that associate would have other real-life responsibilities.
Yes.
Is there a way that we've got some people saying that the volume isn't loud enough in the world? Can you either turn it up or get closer to the mic, perhaps?
Yes, we're going to try it. Yeah.
That's about the best.
Sure, no problem. So the cost of doing business right now to raise a full-time fundraiser for a development assistant one is $48,000 US, according to the last 15 Craigslist posts I grabbed last night. Most nonprofits will not be able to afford to fundraise full-time in world. And I'm not sure how many nonprofit with a budget under $2 million can afford a full-time development assistant and a director of giving at the same time. But the Relay for Life has been done completely by volunteer in world. But they rely on 22 years of fundraising experience. These are social capital most of the nonprofit in the world doesn't have anywhere near close to. So their success is phenomenal. The factor for their success is discipline. It's a national cause without boundary. This is almost a humanistic cause. If you're going to be raising money for your art center in Richmond, don't come to Second Life for fundraising because you can't reach enough people. Your cost is too localized for Second Life. But if you're thinking about raising money for AIDS research, this is the place. If you're thinking about raising awareness and money for MS, this is the place. So you got to match your cause with the right platform. And originally, the next picture, when I explained to my friends in Second Life, they wanted to make a custom texture for me. The topic was going to be dog eat dog, but in reference to Second Life, it was going to be furry eat furry, and you don't want to see that picture. So we set on something much more tamer. Monkey knife fight. This means, because Second Life is a closed ecology, what you're going to be looking at is this. If you look at the blue bar on the left of the long tail, These represent the collective money raised from year 1 to year 5 by the American Cancer Society, the Relay for Life Ingram. This means that one organization, a national organization, will be able to raise funds. The majority of funding will be going to them, not the small nonprofit. So trying to do kind of event in work for raising local nonprofit is going to be difficult. This is something I absolutely wish I will be wrong about. I really want this to be wrong. I want every nonprofit to have a fair share of the revenue raised in world, but I don't see any factor that's going to make it so. This is not going to be a democratic environment for fundraising. This is going to be fiercely competitive, and this is going to be fiercely unfair if you want to come to raise money. But there's hope. What should be the mission of a nonprofit in the metaverse? You got to go back to basic. Look at the apple. The apple is the consequences of an apple tree, which is the result of an apple seed. The seed is going to be your cause. The tree is going to have to be your process of engagement in world. The fruit, when you do have it, will be sporadic, but it will be meaningful because it represents the community's collective belief in you and trust. There was a wonderful story told by Patio Plasma. When San Francisco's exploratorium came in the world, they had a relatively small museum called the Splo Museum. And one of the patrons of it loved it so much because she was a real-life shut-in. She enjoyed Splo's mission in Second Life so much, she gave them a 3 years use of a SIM. Now that's how much are we looking at? That's $1,000 for their setup and $200 per month for the tier. So they're getting 2,800 times 3, $84,000 use of the SIM for 3 years. My math is probably off, but they got the money not because they came in to raise money. Splo came into Second Life to perform their mission, to do their work. The gift they received was a consequence of their work, not as a cost of work. They didn't come into the world to do work because there was money in it. They came into the world to do work because that was a right platform for the company to do. As a result, they generated goodwill and contribution. And every nonprofit out there should be in Second Life. They should have an in-world location. They should examine to see if the mission is compatible with the platform. Any effort they put into serious fundraising may be doomed unless their cause is global, is accessible, and is easy to explain.